So hi, welcome to Growing Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with
Sam from Conquer Divide.
And we're asking some questions today about the new single Bad Dreams. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to it so far?
Oh man, it's been great. That's a song where we've been sitting on it for quite some time. We knew that we would probably end up releasing it after Slow Burn, kind of tied everyone over between albums, and so it's been really hard to kind of keep that one a secret for so long. So it's been really really nice to have that one finally see the light of day. And the reception's been really great. Yeah, immediately people were really excited about it. People who I think there's a lot of crossover in our fan base with a Virtue's fan base, and we're both technically Michigan-based bands as well. So it was kind of cool to do that with our bros in a Virtue.
Hell yeah!
Damn right.
The song rips.
It's a fucking earworm. It's insane. I love it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's gone over really well live too. It's interesting because I'm always paying attention to how the crowd is reacting when we're playing these songs live. And the one song everyone always jumps to is Paralyzed. But Bad Dreams has a similar sort of bouncy beat to it. And people are definitely jumping a lot for Bad Dreams as well. So it's been really cool playing it on this run in Europe and the UK.
Hell yeah.
Damn right. That's awesome.
You mentioned that you guys have had this track for a while. I'm curious about how long you've been sitting on it, maybe when you started working on it, when you had it in hand, rough timeline.
Oh man. I can't remember when it was being worked on. It's been a couple years though. It has been a couple years. I'd say maybe 2 years or so. And then it was finalized. Well, we added the feature fairly recently. Okay. So we had recorded it previously. I don't know. We wanted to do something like we want to do more collabs. We want to partner up more with other bands and things like that. So adding a Virtue was relatively recent. I'd say a couple months ago.
Okay. And who brought that decision to the table? And were they involved at all in the writing? Did they write their own part? What was kind of that process like?
The song was already written, so the parts that we had them on were already pretty much set in stone. But we said, hey, if you guys want to have like a little bit of creative freedom, and they did a couple things. I think they added a little bit at the very end, where there's kind of like some layered vocals, layered screams. I believe that some of those were new to the concept of the song, but it was pretty well written before.
Gotcha.
All right, that's fair. And is there any meaning behind the title or cover art?
Yeah, well, first of all, we noticed this, and maybe fans will notice this as well. We've done a lot of songs with bad in it. Bad guy, bad habits, bad dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we don't want to just focus on the bad, but I don't know. I think it all comes down to embracing like the dark side in life a little bit, and not letting it take you. Like, I'm trying to think of how to explain that, but it's like not letting it win, I guess. Like kind of embracing it, acknowledging it, recognizing it, and then gaining your own power over it. Mm-hmm. I'd say for Bad Dreams, that's probably the general vibe.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. And any meaning behind the cover art?
Well, I love that it's like she's like this. She's kind of trapped. She's kind of got these cracks in her. I don't know. It's supposed to be sort of a surreal imagery that you kind of get when you are having a bad dream, and where you feel like you're trapped, you feel like you're stuck. There's no way out, and like how do you kind of come back from something like that? And so we thought that it was a fitting imagery.
Absolutely.
100%.
So can you tell us a little bit about the writing process for this track?
So it was originally being co-written, or at least partly written, with somebody else in the industry. Mm-hmm. I would love to tell you a bit more about that. Kristen's actually the person who is the primary songwriter behind this one. So I would have to kind of defer to her on more of like those specific details. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't written that differently from our other songs. I think it's got certain chord progressions are chosen. I don't know. I don't really know how I would explain that one specifically, or like as a standalone track, but I think it's just kind of like a running theme behind a lot of our songs, like Bad Dreams, Paralyzed, Pressure maybe, where it's about overcoming this these challenges that most of us I think deal with and can relate to. So I'd say it adds to that sort of repertoire of this sort of theme around overcoming roadblocks and not letting the anxiety win.
Gotcha.
Damn right. Right. And I want you to tell us your favorite lyric off this track and what it means to you.
Oh, hold on. Okay, give me a sec because I'm gonna have to like run through it in my head.
It's okay.
Um, because as the drummer, I'm only sort of singing it in my head.
Yeah.
So I have to go through the song. Give me a sec. Hold on.
You could also
I'm
do
blanking.
instrumental moment if you can't think of a lyric.
Oh, I love the
Yeah.
breakdown. I love
Yeah.
the breakdown. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I love the choke right in the middle of it
Mhm.
because there's like a drum fill and then a choke, and I love that. I love the like it just cuts. It's so abrupt, and in fact, that's kind of like the fractured. There's some fractured moments musically that are kind of in line with I'd say the imagery on the single art as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of fragmented a little bit, but I don't know. I'd say that like just the notion of like on repeat I think is really like, and you're like trapped in bad dreams. I think that does definitely resonate because it's like you get stuck in like a cycle. um there's like there's lyrics about like a storm, and there's just a lot of like dark imagery, and I'd say just overall that it does kind of have that like hopelessness, I guess, to it, where it's just like being trapped, being stuck, you're in a cycle, you're in a storm. um yeah, I would go with that.
Oh yeah. And I know you
Well,
mentioned the on repeat part. That's got to be like my favorite part as well. Just the vocal delivery and the way that the on repeat is delivered just scratches something in my brain for some reason. I can't give you a reason why, but that's probably my favorite part.
I feel like it's a lyric that doesn't come up a lot in lyrics. And I think that's also what makes it a bit more special, probably. And that's why I think it's sticking out to me right now while I'm like struggling. It's like I know all the lyrics, but for some reason right now I'm just like,
No, I respect.
I'm playing atonement in my head right now for some reason.
I respect
like,
that as the drummer, you're even trying to give us a lyric, because typically the drummer will just be like, I don't know, I hit shit. Like, I could tell you anything else.
Yeah. You know what? Okay, to be totally transparent, this is the first band I've ever been in where I know the lyrics. I
That's
have
so
never
special.
known the lyrics in any other band. To be fair, I come from more of like a death thrash metal background where you can't understand half the lyrics.
No.
And I'm just like, I don't care. I'm sure they're good. Cool. Yeah. Brutal lyrics. But this is the first band where I actually do know the lyrics to the song.
That's so
but for
special.
some reason, I'm just blanking right now. I'm blanking right now on Bad Dreams.
That's
it happens.
Terrible
it
hindsight.
happens. No, it's all good. It's all good. It happens. It happens.
So where's your headspace at while you guys are writing and recording this track?
Well, I mean, I don't know. We have like a bit of I'd say we have a similar process for every song that we do in terms of like trying to find like the emotions behind it. I mean, Kristen, who's our rhythm guitarist, but she's also our primary songwriter. I mean, she's channeling a lot of things from her own personal experiences, and also experiences that like all of us can relate to. And I think that's why there's a lot of recurring themes like overcoming challenges and pressure and self-doubt and things like that. And then when Kia's recording her vocals, for example, it's also taking like the emotions from her own experiences, and trying to channel those and thinking, okay, how can I apply this to my life and like what I've gone through so that she's able to like infuse her own emotions into the vocal parts. And then I think, yeah, just for the rest of us, it's really, I mean, it's doing what we love to do. It's we're you know, if you're writing, you're recording, you're playing live, these songs that do mean a lot to you, especially when it comes to feeling like you can bond with each other over the content. I think it's pretty special.
Yeah, like feeding off each other's emotions and vibes, like in the room.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the other thing too. I mean, we're a very modern band. You know, everyone records separately for the most part, and then same with the writing. A lot of the writing is done remotely, or maybe, you know, Chris and Izzy wouldn't get together because they both live in Michigan. And you know, Kia has sometimes will fly in and they'll work on vocals and stuff like that, or you know, she's even demoed stuff at home before. So, but the band's always been, I would say, a remote band. So even though we're geographically separated for the most part, we're still able to make it work with modern technology, so that's pretty cool.
Shout out
Damn
modern
right.
technology.
I was gonna say, hell yeah,
Yeah.
hell yeah. And this one should be super, super quick off top of your head. I want you to describe this track for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
Ooh. Reflective,
Mhm.
heavy, dark.
That's wonderful.
Those
Yeah,
are good.
we'll take it.
Hell
We'll take
yeah.
it. We'll
That's
take it.
hard. It's hard. And I was just thinking because while I'm trying to figure out words, then of course like the chorus lyrics are coming to mind as well, and
Mhm.
about like it's like being someone else's hero when you can't even save yourself. It's kind of
Mhm.
like it's like in a dream when you want to when you feel helpless, like you feel helpless in a dream, and it's like have you ever had a dream where you're trying to like I don't know, um someone's in trouble and you're trying to like you're like there's the bad guy, I gotta like hit this bad guy, and you can't, and you're just like going through water, and it's just like you can barely move, and you're just like
Mhm.
slowly falling, and you're just like I can't stop this person, I can't stop this bad thing from happening. It's like
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's intense, it sucks, you feel helpless.
Absolutely.
absolutely. Helpless.
Yeah.
Mm.
And in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the track?
That one should be an easy question, but it's not for this song because a lot of our songs, I think, bring more hope by the end, but I don't feel like this one does. I feel like this one's just like a reality check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think just like feeling heard, I think people who can relate and they listen to the track and they just feel like, yeah, that kind of describes what I'm going through. Like it's not like it has a happy ending,
Mm.
but it's just kind of reality and like processing like, what's actually going on, and that like the world is kind of dark sometimes, and sometimes things can feel really hopeless,
Mhm.
and that it's just how it is. Sometimes it's not necessarily about like oh it's always going to get better, or it's always like it's always everything's going to be fine. It's more like bringing reality back to I think the situation and saying hey, it's okay to feel these things, it's okay to feel hopeless, it's okay to it's not good, but it's okay. It's just reality.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Happens.
that's important to note because like, obviously it's important to have songs that like have this hopeful ending, but it almost like gives a false sense of reality. Whereas like you said, the song's a reality check. Like sometimes shit just sucks and it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my personal interpretation of it as well. I mean, even my bandmates might have their own things to say about the song, but that's how I interpret it, and kind of how I feel when I'm playing it.
Hell yeah.
Makes sense. And
Mm-hmm.
are you able to touch on any particularly challenging or standout moments during the creation of this track, positive or negative?
All I can say is that the person that we were originally working on it with was going to do a feature, and we didn't end up moving forward with that person. So that was definitely, I'd say, a challenge. And so we're thinking, okay, well, we're not moving forward with that person. So what are we gonna, who are we gonna go to? I'd say that would be the biggest challenge. Actually, was I think the songwriting itself, I think came naturally or came the way that it usually comes. But yeah, it was more like, okay, well, who do we want to partner with on this, and who do we think is going to fit well, and who's going to want to do it, and all of those things. And so it was definitely a bit of a brainstorm session, thinking like who do we want to do it, and things like that. But I think it worked out perfectly in the end. It worked out the way it was supposed to, and
Yeah,
we're
right.
super stoked on it, and we love those guys, and we hope that one day we can play the song together live.
That would be awesome.
The dream, yes. Need.
Oh yeah. So we've beat the ever living shit out of this song, but gotta ask, the single's out. What's coming up next? Is it standalone? Is it the beginning of a new era? This is the time to spill all.
Yeah, for sure. So as you know, we're currently on tour. We're just finishing up our tour with New Year's Day, and then we are then doing 6 weeks also in Europe and the UK with Anchor. So we can't do any writing or anything during that time, unfortunately. But after that, we are definitely, I would say we're definitely going to start focusing on writing some new material. We do have some new ideas in the works. We don't have anything new recorded yet, but some things that we're working on. So we're going to see maybe how the rest of the year shapes up in terms of like tour offers, things like that. But for the most part, yeah, I think we're really going to go into writing mode and try and get another album out that doesn't take 8 years this time.
True.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, finally, yeah.
Oh yeah.
And since you're on tour, we have to ask, what is your go-to snack at a gas station or a rest stop?
Ooh, well, it depends where we are, but okay. So it's definitely Greg's for me when we're in the UK,
Okay.
and I get the cheese and onion bake.
Ooh,
Um,
that sounds
if
good.
if we are in the US, I'm a Cheez-Its girl, big
Hmm.
Cheez-Its girl, big Cheez-Its
Hmm.
girl. Kia can attest to that, how many Cheez-Its I eat. Um, yeah, so those are definitely my some of my go-to sounds.
Cheese
All
its
right.
fuck. Good pick. Yeah.
Yeah, they do,
Hmm.
especially the white ones, the white cheddar.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
Yes.
they're the best.
Yes.
They're the
Those are the
best.
best ones. Absolutely.
No.
God, you're speaking my language. This is great. This is
Yeah.
incredible.
Yes, yes,
Love
yes.
it. And on the topic of food, if the band was a dish, what dish would the band be and why?
It'd have to be vegetarian because two of us are vegetarian.
Mhm.
Um, let me think. Oh man, what would it be? What would it be? I don't know. 'Cause we all have such different tastes. We all have different tastes. I feel like it would just have to be like a soup. It'd just be some sort of soup, maybe like a butternut squash soup, and it's got some other things in it where I don't know. I don't know. Something everyone can kind of get behind.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
respect that. Hell
Solid.
yeah.
I fuck with it.
I mean, it's not as awesome as like a pizza or something, but I feel like it's a safe. That's a safe bet. I think everyone likes soup.
Yeah.
The
For
others will
sure.
probably be like, Sam, you picked like the most boring food item. Why would you
No.
make a soup?
No,
Honestly, I feel like boring would be more like pizza. You know, it's more
Mm,
common. More people say it,
yeah,
but not a lot of people
yeah.
say soup.
Oh, we're soup.
it's
You're soup.
comforting. It's hearty. There's
It
there's so
is.
many
It's
great ways to
comforting.
describe it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and there's and soups you can kind of make anything. Like you just put a bunch of things together and you blend it and it works really well and it tastes delicious. I feel like that should be most bands. It's like you're putting together all your different tastes and everything and you kind of blend them together and you get a soup.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
Seal
Just
the deal.
beautiful. It's perfect. It's
Yeah.
Yeah,
perfect.
there you go. Good analogy, you know? Yeah,
Yeah.
I try.
Mhm. And for these last couple questions, we're going to shift away from music, if that's okay with you.
Mm.
Great. So we're actually going to go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
Oh, oh, that's a good question.
Thank you.
I feel like I've thought about this in like a really dark way. I feel like I've thought about this, but what did it, where I was like, oh man, I could just eat this meal forever.
Hmm.
Um, okay, so I've been vegetarian since 2018, but
Hmm.
before that, there was this one meal that I had in Morocco, and it was a lamb tagine with like almond and lemon and prune or something like that, dates. It's one of the most delicious meals I've ever had. I think I would probably ask for that exact. I would get that lamb tagine,
Hmm.
and then my drink would be probably be like something stupid like that I don't get to have very often.
Okay.
Banana milk.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah.
I was trying to think like, ooh, what would be like a nice cocktail or something, or like a blended drink or something. I'm like, maybe it should be something that I don't usually get. It's like the lamb. Like I don't eat lamb,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but I would. But this was a delicious meal, so I think if I was about to die, I think I would probably want that meal. So I
Yeah.
think I'd probably want like a banana milk.
All right. I haven't thought about
I
banana
love it.
milk in a while, but
Me
shout
too.
out.
Right, it's
Yeah.
like a child's drink usually, but I think I would probably be like, yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out banana milk.
All right.
Yeah.
And if you could live in one fiction world for a week, where would you live?
Honestly, probably Harry Potter or like some sort of similar world because ever since I was a kid, like, and I used to watch like Matilda and stuff, and I always just wanted to have like powers to like levitate things and whatever. And I don't know, I feel like, and I'd want to be in like some sort of like old building with like secret passages and stuff because that's like my dream. So I think that the closest to that would probably be Harry Potter. Yeah.
Solid. Do you know what house you are?
No, I don't know. Like when I was younger, it's like, oh, you do those like online quizzes and stuff, and it's like, I don't know. I feel like I got Hufflepuff, but
Shout
I
out
don't really.
Hufflepuff.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
you? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I've been so out of the loop on anything like Harry Potter related in like years, so I'm
Mhm.
like I don't even know anymore. But I think it was like I think it was Hufflepuff.
Solid. Good house. Good ass house.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
nice. Yeah.
And I have the honor of asking the last question. Every single person we've spoken to has actually said it is the most important question. What is your favorite color?
I used to be able to answer that really easily, and now I can't because I feel like it changes a lot. The only color that's consistent is black, but it's not even a color. It's a shade. It's an absence of color. So
There you go.
out of-
Thank you. Thank you.
So out of like colors, what would it be now? I'm trying to think, like, if I could paint my house any color right now, like, doesn't matter how absurd, like, what would it be? I'm really liking neon green. For the last couple of years, I've really liked neon green.
Mhm.
Yeah, for years my favorite color was blue. It was always blue. Really easy question. And then it was teal. Now I'm on the neon green train. So I'd say neon green. That's where I'm at right now.
All
Ask
right.
me again in 5 years.
It'll be, yeah. I love it.
It'll be
All
something
right.
different. Yeah, but I'll still wear black. That's gonna still
Of
be
course.
Absolutely.
You
my
gotta.
shade of choice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So as Gloria said, that's all the questions you have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Oh, I mean, just first of all, thank you so much to everyone who's been supporting us and listening to us and streaming us and voting for us when we do those sorts of things. And shout out to our Patreon supporters as well. Huge love to you guys. And to all the new people that we've been meeting on this tour. It's been really awesome meeting people. Yeah, just check out Conquer Divide and all of streaming listening platforms. If you want to pick up a shirt or something off our website, that money directly helps the band. So we'd also appreciate your support that way as well.
Hell yeah.
Wonderful.
All right. Well, thank you, Sam. This has been Sam from Conquer Divide, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.